Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. At one of the shows that I was just at, and this was in Springfield, Massachusetts, a guy came up to me and he was interested in seeing what we had, but he kept himself sort of removed until I think, earned his respect where he would start to talk to me. And then did he ever start to talk? And he told me that if he came up to our area, and this is what he wants to do now, he says, I'm going to warn you right now, I can fish a water out by using HELGRAMMITES. Now, we've talked about HELGRAMMITES before, and usually when I'm talking about them, we're talking about artificial soft plastic baits that are shaped like a HELGRAMMITE and how that is so much part of a fish's diet. But he told me that he takes it a whole nother step further. He's got a system of how he gets in a stream, and he has a special design net that he uses, and you have to be in like 2 feet of water or less. The water has to be moving really well and clear, and of course it has a rocky bottom. Now, what this is all about is that HELGRAMMITES are they're like a nymph sort of form of an insect that will emerge later. But in their form, they're under rocks, and when they get dislodged from the rocks, they get caught up in the current and they start to come down, and he catches them. And he told me that there's no other food that bass in particular, but I can tell you as a kid, trout the same way, preferred like a HELGRAMMITE. And he told me just how he was going to fish them. And he has a very specific way. He uses 10-pound braid. You have to have braid because the way the fish will strike them, it's critical that you feel that strike, and braid is more sensitive. Then he uses a 6-pound test fluorocarbon line, or leader, I guess we can call it. And the reason fluorocarbon is basically the most important thing to him is the fact that the fish can't see it. They can hardly see it at all. So it makes that bait look more natural, and they tend to be less wary. He has this down to such a science, it's unbelievable. And then he started to tell me about, again, fishing with angleworms, how most of us grew up fishing with angleworms. He gets worm blowers. Now, these are devices that blow air into the worm. And I know his wife was there at the time he was giving me this report, and she didn't like that idea at all. She says, that worms are alive. You shouldn't do that. But he was kind of ignoring her, and he kept going on telling me the story. And when you inflate those worms with air, the way they are seen in the water, the way they react, is they become buoyant. And they move through the water in a different way. And he said that really, really attracts fish. So I will tell you, I have never gone on air and talked to you about catching HELGRAMMITES. I've talked to you about the fact that HELGRAMMITES are a great bait, but he's got a way to catch them. I just got them randomly as a kid. I'd be looking for crayfish or something. I'd turn over a rock, and there'd be one of these long, like centipede-looking things that HELGRAMMITES are, wiggling down there on the rock. And first time I put them on my hook, it wasn't 2 seconds after it hit the water that I caught a fish. But there's an exact way to fish them that really becomes effective. The other thing that he taught me, and I've never talked to you about this before either, is blowing air into worms. And some of you are probably thinking, what will they talk about next? What will he think about next? But this is viable, and some people do it. He told me you can get these worm blowers in Walmart. So, new thoughts to share with all of you. And the reason I can do that is because I'm talking to more people in different areas about fishing. And from every single person, I get ideas, sometimes some great new ways to fish. And sometimes I just roll my eyes and think, wow, what story will I hear next? Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.